Hey, people. Well, hell, man. I guess here's your chance. I don't feel like digging down there and pulling that throwout fork out. Because I just don't feel like it, man. I've wasted enough damn time on this. I'm wasting time with my friend Pete. But I got the thing back in. And, everything was good. Put it all back together. Thank God. Thank God I did a maiden voyage without the bench seat and the carpet in, and without the doghouse on the transmission cover, whatever you want to call it in here. I call it a doghouse, because that's just what I call it, man. Truck drivers call it a doghouse. Because I know it's because my dad used to call it a doghouse, and if y'all want to argue with me on that, that's fine. But anyway, I get down in the maiden voyage, and first takeoff's fine, third takeoff's fine. I get the woohoos going on and everything like that. Wish I would have had the camera on in that. And I hear this pop again. I'm like, oh my God. What the hell is going on? I feared the worst. I feared the worst. Sorry I ain't looking directly at the camera. Y'all just gonna have to bear with me. I feared the worst. So, I stopped the truck, got underneath it, looked. My clutch went all the way to the floor. It's dangling there like a loose limp noodle. And, no clutch. So, I start it, I don't hear no noises, and then I shut it back off. I stick it in gear, and it starts. And I'm like, oh yeah, right on, at least I get it home. So, thank God to my nifty king dry shifting abilities, I drove it home. I get it in the driveway, kill it, and my fork's just rattling around in there. I mean, it's looser than normal. So I'll go ahead and hook the other end of the fork, and the other end, you know, the linkage that goes to my foot pedal out, and the fork is like loose in there. So then I get underneath it, and I pull the fork out from underneath by sliding it through the bell housing out. And I'm wondering what the hell's going on, man. So I got online and looked at the schematics and stuff and this and that and the other. And somewhere along the works, there is a snap ring pin that I put in there. I know I did. But it must have been weak or bent or something. I don't know. So I went to the auto parts store and I bought it. It's a little U-shaped pin, and it has a little ditty in it and everything. And I put it back in there and clipped it back in. And I inspected that little pivot ball that the throwout clutch rides on, or the throwout fork rides on. It's smooth. It's not damaged. So my point is, people, man, y'all make sure that throwout fork is completely inspected. I mean, take it apart, clean it up, inspect your ball, make sure it's all right. Make sure, go buy a new snap ring pin, or that little pin that goes in there. It's the keeper pin, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the hell it's called. YouTubers out there can leave comments and help the future viewers out there what kind of pin that's called. But it's a little pin that goes in there, and it helps secure that throwout fork to the pivot bearing, the pivot ball that's attached to your bell housing. And so I thought, well, hell with it, man. I'm going to go ahead and attempt this without my son here. And we're going to see what happens. I didn't get a chance to show this before, but make sure your throwout bearing is facing this side. You know, you don't want it like this, because that's pointless, man. You want that bearing to be just exactly like this. Let me make that clear. You want it like this, to where this side right here is riding on your pressure plate fingers. All right, we'll see what happens. Damn it, man. I didn't want to do all this crap again. I'm just glad it wasn't nothing on my account that I did. So I'm going to put the... And it's kind of tricky because that bearing is, there's nothing to really secure that throw up bearing in there. You just see what I'm saying? Dadgummit. You gotta have it stabbed in there, man. Hold on. I swear to God, man. I'm not doing this like the other day. I can't be in two places at once, under it and above it. Might have to wait till my son gets here. Maybe I can put some fishing string on it or something. Anyways. It's this clown act situation here, man. Okay. Alright, there we go again. And if y'all want to leave any comments on there that might make it easier for people, be my guest. If y'all want to use my videos as my what's going on, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Alright. It's through the bearing. Through the bearing. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Oh. I'm trying to line that. Trying to line that that's pumpkin. Oh, come on, baby, don't do this to me. So close, an inch, down to an inch now. Oh. Oh. I got the heater controls pull out of my desk, so that helps hold it. So I can just take a couple of breathes here and there without I was weighing my feet. But all right, there it is. There it is. Wow. It's in. Man, my feet are tired just in that short amount of time, man. Tuck that thing down where it don't go nowhere now. All right. All right. Woo! Anyway, that ought to show you something, people, that, I wish I had my tape here. I guess we'll just tie the knot or something. I don't want to let that baby loose on me, man. Anyway, I'll explain this thing thoroughly after I get this thing tied off, so everybody can see it firsthand, live footage. Woo! Yeah, I'm so happy now. I guess there's the purpose for everything. You know, my video was a little shy of showing the whole thing. And here's the whole thing. Here's the whole setup. This is what I got. This is a tow strap. This is a strap. Come along. This is the strap. It is going on this side of your gooseneck, your stem for your gear shift to go in, whatever you want to call it. And thank you, people, for telling me what's going on here. Just so people are out there watching and they don't know, these are the brass rods that your linkage rods on for you to shift your gears. That's what I'm understood. And by all means, no, I wouldn't even pull something apart unless somebody told me what they was. I don't have no reason to pull them apart. There ain't nothing wrong with the transmission. But those are your roller your brass roller rods, whatever you want to call them. And what it does is it gives the opportunity for your I don't know what's on the inside of that thing, but it's something that you don't want to mess with for sure. Don't pull them out. Don't get curious. Curiosity killed a cat. But anyway, that's the story, and this is all it is, dude. It's just a ratchet strap. I think this is a boat ratchet strap. I'm not for sure, because it ain't that long. I don't know. Maybe it got cut, because when I borrowed it, it was real short and it had a hook on it. So maybe they was using it for, I don't know what it was for, but this is a tow strap. It's rolled over the top of my pickup cab. I got let me show you. I'll show you the top of it. Oh, Louise is finally going to get to go on another. Have some more time with me here, man. Whew. Anyway, it's hooked over to that hook, doubled back and hooked over here. And then, of course, it's hooked to there. You know, and a lot of, you know, even my own, you know, some of my closest friends and everybody, man, they ask me, they say, man, why the hell do you keep wanting to keep the truck? Well, here's how it is, man. This particular year model of a truck, they made this body style for 10 years. And nowadays, you know, after this year model, if everybody bear with me here on this conversation. After this year, my truck is the last year, 72. I cleaned by the hair of my ass, man. After this year, it became a different body style. And as those years went by, they kept adding this newer model ignition. They started adding different features. After a while, they started putting dashes in them that were plastic. My point is that this truck is simple as hell. I can work on it. And as far as I'm concerned, the more and newer and the newer and the newer and the more newer and the more newer, and I could just sit here and say newer and newer and newer and newer your truck gets or your vehicle gets, the more added technology is added to it. And I don't know why. I don't know why, man. They say all that crap on these newer cars is just strictly for emissions, man, because of the ozone layer. You know, I don't know whether to believe that either. I mean, a lot of people even think the first voyage on the moon was staged. Because you look at that little crackerjack thing and you wonder, I mean, I'm really believing that, man. And I'm not trying to change subjects on that, but here's an example. If you'll go and look at the first space shuttle that ever landed on the moon opposed to the ones that really landed on the moon, they enter the Earth. How did they re-enter the Earth's atmosphere with no heat shield on the bottom of that thing? They didn't even know that they were going to start smoldering with heat. I don't know. I'm skeptical. And I'm also skeptical about cars too, and the EPA and the ozone layer and all this crap they tell us in the world. You know, I'm just, this is my personal beliefs, man. I think some of it's a hoax, some of it may not be, but I think just a lot of it out there is making us they're forcing us into technology. They're forcing us into technology, and that's what I truly believe. And y'all can leave all your comments up there being skeptical about it. I'm not going to hate you, because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And even in my house, I'll let somebody have their own opinion, and this channel is my house, you know, more or less. So I'm a nice, kind guy. If y'all want to leave any skeptical things out there or comments or something, just so long you don't cuss my wife. I've had to block a couple of users, man, because of that reason, man. Because they cussed my wife, and they didn't know that she was my wife. And that's one thing you do not do. You do not cuss my wife. She might be a bitch, but she's my bitch. The same goes for her. She'll do the same for me. He might be an asshole or a sorry good no son of a gun, but he's my asshole and a no sorry good son of a gun. And Anyway, I'll get off here and let this go. And but anyway, there's the full thing. You've seen it live. It works. And yeah, I did a repeat for a good reason. I just didn't pull it out of there just to show y'all that crap. And also, this is being put back on there is because, you know, these are the mistakes that I've made. Don't make the same mistakes. Make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's thoroughly. I did inspect my flywheel to make sure it was fine. I put a new pilot bearing in it because that comes with a kit. What else did I do? Oh, yeah. I was told by one of my good old buddies, man, that while you're there, torque them flywheel bolts. Make sure they're torqued. Well, I said, well, I already torqued them when I changed the motor out. They said, did you buy new bolts? I said, no. They said, well, now's your time. Go get you some new flywheel bolts, throw them in there, and torque it. Torque them down, and use the specs. And there it is, y'all. And I'll get off here and let y'all go, but stick with the old crap, y'all. If y'all can, by all means, any possible way, stick with older vehicles, do it. That's all I can say is do it, because the newer and newer they get, the more computer and the more technology, and the more parts are prone to go wrong. And I guarantee you, as the years go by, classic cars are going to disappear completely, because I don't think anybody's going to hang on to as much as I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the generations will turn and they will have their old ass computers they can plug into these things. But it just goes to show you that when my grandbabies, if they have a classic ride that's a 2000 something or another model, or a 1997 model, they're going to have to be sure they save analyzing machines and everything else to plug into it. And they're probably going to still sell parts for it. But it just seems, it just from my own observation, I just noticed that every year a car is newer, the more problem it's prone to have, because it has more parts on it. It has more technology in it. It's got more, definitely got more wires running in it. Definitely got more vacuum lines running in it. Definitely got a lot of everything in it. And all the newer shit is made out of plastic. I don't like plastic. I don't like plastic. Look at this. Look at that. If you was to do that to a new car, it would dent. You know, it would put a big ass dent in it. That's my point. If you can stick with the older crap, stick with it. And just because it's old and it's having some problems, I bet you I have less parts to replace on this damn thing that all the newer trucks have to replace. Definitely. And I bet you can't get underneath it and do all the crap that I did without a bunch of struggle and hassle. This thing is so simple. Here's my motto in life. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Anyway, y'all be good, and I'll see y'all later, man. And thanks for thanks Volkswagen Planet. I appreciate your support. I wish I could remember each and every subscriber but now I'm up to the hundreds now. I just remember the first ones, just the first few, and then after that it becomes a blur. But I will try to get on there and start leaving public, at least a public response or a public reply or whatever, or just in general. And if anybody wants to have a shout out on my channel, all you got to do is leave a comment on there, because I'm reading them. I'm like a kid in a candy store every morning, man. Every time I get up in the morning, I read my comments, and every time I go to bed at nighttime, I read my comments. So at least I do pay attention to each and every one of your comments. Not one is not unread from me. No, sir. I don't believe in that crap. These people is what made me. So why would I not want to at least open my ear, clean the crap out of it, and listen to them? Because these people made me on this channel, and that's another thing. If you'll just, but anyway, we'll get into that with. Man, I got to go up here and let my foot rest. I'm gonna let that thing sit there and stew for a little minute, and I'll let y'all go. But look, y'all, peace out, man. Y'all be good, and yeah, look here. I even like watching myself on TV. I'm like an addict. I gotta have a daily. I gotta have a daily fix, man. Pete does the same thing, man. He looked at me, I mean, he grinned at me one time when the first time I ever popped up on his channel, and I know I keep saying I'll go on and let y'all go, but my limit's reaching here on my camera anyway, so I gotta go. But Pete told me for the first time when I seen myself on YouTube, man, he said, how many times did you watch that video? Because he said, man, didn't you get any rest last night? And it was of the Camaro from the UK, United Kingdom. And it was when it was raining outside, and so we stayed out late working that day. And he says, did you watch the footage on YouTube, man, and this, that, and the other? I said, yeah, I watched it, man, I watched it. And he says, well, what's the matter, you tired, you get any sleep? No, because I watched it 4 times, and it was about an hour long. Or 45 minutes long, or whatever it was. I just couldn't get enough of myself and Pete together, man. I love that guy. Anyway, I'll see y'all later, and y'all be good, man. Until next time, peace out. Limpster gone.